What's up? This is Rap Hits, and so the second part of Tory Lanez testimony. Well, he is going at the DA and all them for locking them up. He's saying unjustifiably. He's saying that they skewed the trial in the favor of Megan Thee Stallion, and he said there was a lot of crazy background stuff going on. So look, I'm gonna play this audio. This is part 2 of the Tory Lanez audio of him going at the DA and them in the courts against his lawyer's wishes. If you want to check out part 1, I'm going to leave a link in the comment section in the description box if you need to check that out. But here's part 2 of what he's saying.
Check this out. Incarcerated for almost half a year over a gun that the DA's lied and said I shot. In 2021, they demanded I take a DNA test. I took that test with no pushback, delay, or question. Not only because I knew I never shot the gun, but mainly because I was 100% positive I never even touched this gun. In my trial, the verdict of guilty or innocent depended heavily on my DNA results. With the help of LA Crime Lab's DNA expert Randy Zepeda, DA Kathy Tarr and Alex Bott completely manipulated my DNA results and lied to the world, the media, and most importantly, my jury, by stating my DNA on the gun was inconclusive. That was an absolute lie. They went on further to say, inconclusive means that he cannot be excluded from the gun. My new attorney, Jose Baez, hired one of the best DNA experts in the nation to carefully analyze the same DNA test the fair and correct way. The results came back exactly as I knew this whole time. My DNA is 100% excluded and 100% eliminated from the gun. In other words, it's physically and scientifically impossible for me to ever have touched or shot this gun. After the correct and careful analyzation of my DNA testing, not only did our expert find my DNA 100% excluded and non-existent on the gun, but what's worse was the invalid and illegal tactics the prosecution chose to attain the results used to convict me. Based on the fundamentals of my DNA test, the only possible way for the LA Crime Lab to come up with an inconclusive result would literally be to stop the testing before it finished or completed its final result, which would have and should have shown completely my full exclusion on the weapon. In other words, District Attorneys Kathy Tarr and Alex Bott lied to my jury with false, incorrect, and incomplete DNA results, violating my due process and my 14th Amendment rights. My faith, my prayers, and my highest hopes go to the Honorable Judge Hereford that on May 8th, he rules in favor of the United States Supreme Court law, returning me to my freedom, my family, and most importantly, the justice of a fair trial.
Okay.
Incarcerated from. All right, people.
So look, Tory Lanez is trying to get out on May 8th. Now look, he's saying that he had his own people do an analyst of the DNA, and he's saying his own people found, well, he hired some experts, and this was an independent hire, so it's not people working with Tory Lanez. He just went to hire a private agency to do the DNA research, and he's saying they found that his DNA was not on the pipe, so on the weapon. So look, for the DA to have done that same test and found it inconclusive, to me, I think he might have a point, because aren't you supposed to be convicted beyond a reasonable doubt? So that's the only, that's the only thing there. Like, if the test was inconclusive, why is the DA saying, well, that doesn't exclude him from, from the crime? I would say that the lawyer should have pushed back harder on that statement that the DA made, and should have been more like, no, that is a problem. If the test was inconclusive, then that means there is probable reasonable doubt, in my opinion. I don't see how his lawyer didn't catch that. Plus, why didn't his lawyer already think about getting a private team to investigate the DNA? Or did they not have access to the weapon at that time? Because this seems to me like that's probably why he's speaking out so harshly, Tory Lanez. That's probably why he is doing something that I would think that most people wouldn't do. I'm pretty sure lawyers are not happy with him releasing these statements, because they want to go by the book. They just want the evidence to come out as it does. But Tory Lanez is pushing this into the mainstream media. He's fighting his case in the public eye, and I think that could end up being actually a good strategy, because like I said in my last video, that's what Hurricane Chris did. He spoke up and spoke out against corruption. You know, the reason why lawyers always say do not speak is because it's supposed to go like this. Basically, the state is supposed to prove their case. They're supposed to prove that you're guilty. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So really, the traditional thinking is that they have to prove that you actually did the crime. So you don't really got to say nothing, they usually try to say, because it's up to them to prove that you did it. But really, I don't think that's how the system works. I think that's how it's supposed to work, but I don't think that's how it works. And I think lately it looks like you almost got to speak up. Now, like I said in the last video, it's not legal advice, but it's almost like you almost have to speak up. It's like they're almost trying to say people are now guilty until proven innocent, especially if you're hearing that they use weak DNA evidence, but that wasn't the only thing they used. They also used some other shady stuff, because one of the witnesses changed her story multiple times. And she tried to, come out in the court and then say that, she pretty much changed her whole story. I left that on Rapids. If you can go back, search Tory Lanez, and you'll probably find it. But there was other moments, suspicious moments. Plus, I think one of the bodyguards or something didn't show up. I think they had trouble getting witnesses in the courtroom. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of a wild case. It almost appeared like, to me, it looks like, okay, so if Tory Lanez didn't do it, maybe he should have spoke up then, instead of sitting in there. Because, like Troy Ave had to speak up against Taxstone, because he was saying basically Taxstone was trying to pin something on him. He was trying to pin the thing on him, what happened. And Troy Ave was saying he had to speak up because he's not going to be sitting in a cell because his op is trying to get him, make him take the blame for it. So if Tory Lanez saw what happened that night, he's not, I don't know if he's held to the standards of, oh, you're a snitch if you speak up like the normal street person would be, held to those standards. But Tory Lanez did have a rap career as well as a singing career. He was doing both. He was rapping and singing. And when he was rapping, he was talking that stuff. He was rapping with real solid individuals. So I think he really didn't want that on his name. He did not want to be out there calling out that if Kelsey, that girl, I mean, who else would have done it? His bodyguard, there was only a few people there. And if the residue wasn't on his hands, then who did it? I guess he didn't want to speak up and say who did it, because maybe he saw who did it. Maybe it wasn't him. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think Tory Lanez is guilty, or do you think he's innocent? If he didn't do it, who do you think did it? Okay, I'm gonna see y'all in the comment section. I'm gonna leave some links for y'all too. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm out of here.